January 6th committee will accept criminal referrals against Donald Trump. Tesla stock pops on Musk's Twitter step-down poll. UK eyes banned on single-use plastic plates and cutlery. Warm banks emerge in Britain as temperatures plummet. FTX collapse shakes Singapore's crypto ambitions. Europe is pushing climate-friendly travel. George Orwell's 1984 tops Russian bestseller lists. Ukraine chooses Tvorchi for Eurovision 2023.
Hello, I'm Wade Lee. Thank you for joining us on FUNDAY News. It is Tuesday, December 20th, and here are your top stories. The media reported the U.S. House Select January 6th committee will accept criminal referrals against former President Donald Trump on 3 charges: obstruction of an official proceeding of Congress, conspiracy to defraud the United States, and insurrection. The referrals will come in the form of letters from the committee to the Justice Department making its case for prosecution. Referrals do not carry any legal weight or compel the Justice Department to act.
The media said that the referrals will be voted on Monday, during what's very likely to be the last public meeting of the panel before it concludes at the end of the month. Monday's meeting punctuates a nearly 2-year investigation into what led to be the violent attack at the U.S. Capitol on January 6, 2021, as a mob of pro-Trump supporters stormed the Capitol in an attempt to stop Congress from certifying the results of the 2020 presidential election, which Joe Biden won.
Tesla CEO Elon Musk has found a new way to jolt the electric car maker's brew stock price. Teased that he'd step away from being Twitter's CEO, Musk tweeted to his 122.1 million followers on Sunday, asking them, "Should I step down as head of Twitter? I will abide by the result of this poll." The poll closed on Monday morning with 57.5% of the 17.5 million votes choosing yes, and Tesla was up nearly 5% in pre-market trading. Wellbush manager director Dan Ives wrote in a new note, "It appears Musk's reign as CEO of Twitter will come to an end."
Ives added in the new note, "Musk is Tesla and Tesla is Musk. Attention focus on Twitter instead of golden child Tesla has been another big issue for investors, and likely is behind this poll result, with many Musk loyalists wanting him to leave as CEO of Twitter. With the poll closing this morning, it appears Musk's reign as CEO of Twitter will come to an end, and thus be a major positive for Tesla's stock starting to slowly remove this albatross from the story."
After banned plastic straws, stirrers, and cotton buds, single-use plastic cutlery, plates, and other items are set to be banned by the UK government and replaced by biodegradable items. The Financial Times reported that the UK Environment Secretary, Therese Coffey, will announce firm plans in the coming weeks. In the US, California put in place sweeping new restrictions on single-use plastic in June, requiring all single-use packaging and plastic single-use food serviceware be recyclable or compostable by 2032.
The European Union banned single-use plastic plates, cutlery, straws, balloon sticks, and cotton buds last summer. India, the world's second most populous country, imposed a ban on single-use plastic items including straws, cutleries, earbuds, packaging films, plastic sticks for balloons, candy and ice cream, and cigarette packets in July this year. And later this month, it will become illegal in Canada to manufacture and import plastic bags, cutlery, food serviceware, stirrers, and straws.
As the cost of living crisis spirals, so-called warm banks have opened across the UK to cater to people unable to heat their homes due to skyrocketing energy bills. So far, nearly 3,500 warm banks, dedicated places where people can access free heating, often with warm tea and sometimes free Wi-Fi, have sprung up. Among them is London's famous Royal Opera House. The 290-year-old institute has opened its door to those needing extra warmth this winter. There's even a free lunchtime concert to boot.
The media said that churches and gaming cafes in the country have rebranded themselves as warm banks this winter, while libraries are gearing up for extended hours into the new year to keep both the elderly and young children warm. Computer engineer Jason Baldry put together warmspaces.org in his spare time, a website with an interactive map plotting all warm banks across the UK. Over 1,000 warm banks have been listed, with more still to be marked.
It starts with one thing. In the end, it doesn't even matter. Better world, better world. Welcome to California. Miracles, but miracle has happened tonight. Pray I'll be missing you. Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying, and I can't wait for the leaving, make a better place.
The BBC reported that the FTX collapse was particularly shocking for Singapore because its state investment fund Temasek had invested in the exchange, pumping in $275 million over several months. Temasek said it will write down the money and is conducting an internal review into the investment. The fund is worth more than $295 billion, and so the FTX investment makes up a small percentage of its public wealth portfolio. Singapore's Deputy Prime Minister, who is also Finance Minister, told Parliament the loss had caused reputational damage.
Singapore's fiscal reserves are not impacted by the loss from investing in collapsed crypto firm FTX.
Singapore's state media, CNA, reported that Singapore's fiscal reserves are not impacted by the loss from investing in collapsed crypto firm FTX. That's as the net investment returns contributed from such assets are not tied to individual investments. Finance Minister Lawrence Wong said Temasek's holding investment in early-stage companies remains better than the industry average, even after writing off the loss from the FTX investment. Temasek's investment in FTX was worth $275 million or 0.09% of its net portfolio value.
To reduce carbon emissions, Europe sets to transition travelers from planes to trains. The EU aims to reduce its greenhouse gas by 55% by 2030, compared to 1990s levels, and reach net zero by 2050. Shifting more passenger transport from air to rail could potentially play a significant role in reaching this goal. With a high share of electrified tracks and an increased share of renewable energy in the electricity mix, the environmental footprint of rail is expected to decrease further as we move into the next decade.
Imagine traveling that makes you feel really good, that is more rewarding and more impactful.
According to the European Environment Agency, based on well-to-wheel greenhouse emission, excluding infrastructure-related emissions, air passenger transport emits, on average, 160 grams CO2 per ppm, whereas rail passenger transport is only 33 grams CO2 per ppm. Given its potential to reduce CO2 emissions, the 2019 European Green Deal and the 2020 Sustainable and Smart Mobility Strategy have put rail passengers transport front and center in a bid to decarbonize the EU's mobility system.
George Orwell's dystopian novel 1984 has topped the electronic bestseller list in Russia. The novel is set in an imagined future where totalitarian rulers deprive their citizens of all agency in order to maintain support for senseless wars. Russia's state news agency TASS reported last Tuesday the novel is the most popular fiction download of 2022 on the platform of the Russian online bookseller Litris, and the second most popular download in any category. The book was banned in the Soviet Union until 1988.
Orwell said that he had used Stalin's dictatorship as a model for the personality cult of the all-seeing Big Brother, whose thought police forced cow citizens to engage in doublethink in order to believe that war is peace, freedom is slavery. But some see contemporary echoes in the rule of Russian President Vladimir Putin, who has eradicated political oppositions and critical media from the public sphere in his 2 decades in power, as well as rehabilitating the memory of Stalin.
Ukraine has chosen pop duo Tvorchi as its act for next year's Eurovision Song Contest in a live broadcast from a Kiev bomb shelter. A metro station in Kiev was transformed into a TV studio for Saturday's selection show. The underground stop has been in use as a bomb shelter since Russia invaded in February. Tvorchi's entry, Heart of Steel, is the first song to be confirmed for the 2023 competition in Liverpool. Ukraine's Kalash Orchestra won this year's contest, but the UK will host in 2023 because of the war.
Sometimes gotta look away. Sometimes just gotta know.
During Tvorchi's performance, dancers wore gas masks as nuclear warning signs appeared on screen over lyrics like, "Don't be scared to say just what you think." Tvorchi hoped to repeat the success of compatriots Cutlery Orchestra, who won this year's contest in May. The winning country normally hosts the following year's event, but organizers decided it is too dangerous to stage Eurovision in Ukraine in 2023. Liverpool was instead chosen to put on the show on behalf of Ukraine.
FUNDAY News will help sharpen your English skill while keeping you informed on current international events. Tune into our other FUNDAY programs to learn more about the world's most important topics in English. Click the link below now to join FUNDAY for free. I'm Wade Lee, your host. I'll see you next time.